Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of another Dime in the Jukebox. Today, my guest is the lead vocalist and guitarist of the international award-winning rock band, the Derek Woods Band. Here's Derek Woods.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. You're the son of Tim Woods, the 2012 inductee of the New York Blues Hall of Fame. What is your dad's musical back? Was it your dad's musical background that inspired you to become a musician?
I mean, growing up, coming from a very musical family, there was always music in our house, always music around, and always, people that he played with, coming through the house, if they were traveling through, or, people that he was in bands with. So it was always around, and of course, that's inspirational.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. It's got to be inspirational when you're around music all the time and when you hear it in your day-to-day life constantly. So, yeah, it's not surprising that that inspired you. How old were you when you first started learning how to play instruments, sing, and write songs?
Well, I was very young. I first started kind of singing and learning about singing, man, I was probably maybe seven, I would say. Maybe eight, seven, eight, something like that. And I remember my dad actually would teach my brother and I about singing and about harmonizing. And, there was a couple different songs like You Are My Sunshine and songs like that that he would teach us, what harmonies were. And um, then a little bit after that, I started having a little bit of interest in guitar. I didn't really pick it up right away until I was probably maybe like 11 when I really started getting into it. And then I played my first show on stage when I was 12.
Hmm. I see. That's really cool. And so again, basically, and your inspiration for that also came from your father, yeah, because he was like when you were telling me that he was trying to teach you and your brother how to sing and how to harmonize. So yeah, I'm guessing that's where your main source of inspiration came from.
Absolutely. Yeah, he had bands during that time too, and of course his brothers played music as well, so it was all through the family. And of course, it's a cool thing to pass on.
Absolutely, yeah. And look where it got you. I mean, you're extremely
Absolutely.
now. So the Derek Woods Band formed in 2011 following the release of your debut solo single, New Love. Can you tell me the whole story behind how that band was formed from beginning to end?
Yeah, it's really actually kind of hard to believe the band's been around that long now. But I was living in Los Angeles. I was in the Hollywood area, and I was just kind of doing a solo project, and I was recording all the different instruments on it, and um, eventually I did come back to. I'm in the Pennsylvania area right now on the East Coast, and some of the musicians that I knew in that area. We kind of got together, and even when I was in California doing like some of the shows in the very beginning, my community that I had that I played music with people, a lot of them were from the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area as well, just kind of out there. So in the beginning, we did a lot of festivals, kind of traveled around on the East Coast a little bit. Um, Whenever we came back to the East Coast, before that, there was a few shows on the West Coast. And then through the years, we just kept expanding out, and now we have multiple albums. We tour every year, all across the United States.
Hmm. Yeah, and you have quite an interesting lineup, which brings me to my next question. The Derek Woods Band features guitar, vocals, drums, bass, and a saxophone. How did you come up with that lineup of instruments, and what made you decide to add a saxophone to the lineup?
Well, we have had several different instruments in the band through the years. We've had, mandolin, we've had keyboard, we've had a lot of different things. I play harmonica as well. We've tried, electric guitar. We have acoustic guitar in the band. We've just tried a lot of different things in the group, and we all play multiple instruments as well.
Mhm.
So in the past handful of years, we brought saxophone in, and it just really became a part of our sound. And the way we use the saxophone, it's almost like a forefront instrument, almost same as like say if you thought of like Blues Traveler, you know how important the harmonica is in Blues Traveler. It's the same kind of thing with the saxophone.
I see. Yeah. So yeah, basically, it became a part of your sound that became permanent and just like couldn't just be
Absolutely.
changed. Yeah, well, yeah, definitely sounds pretty original. I gave your songs a listen on Spotify a couple weeks ago. I should definitely go back and listen to more of your stuff and honestly get like more familiar with your sound.
Yeah.
But I definitely really liked how you have this like country-ish sound to your music. And yeah, I haven't listened to country music in the longest time.
Yeah, it's kind of has that like Americana it's a big mix. It has the Americana feel. We kind of skim across a few different genres as well. Some of our stuff is a little bit like pop rock. Then of course we always have the rock and roll undertone as well. And for our live shows, we kind of rock it out more as well.
I see. Yeah, and also hopefully I will get to see you play live in LA sometime soon.
I hope so. LA, we love LA. It's like our second home out there.
Mhm. Yeah, and also you said that you're on the East Coast now. When did you move to the East Coast?
So, like I was saying, I lived in LA for about 4 years, and then was kind of back and forth for a while. And now I'm on the East Coast, but I'm in LA at least a couple times a year.
I see. Okay, and where are you from originally? Like were you born and where did you grow
So
up?
I'm originally from the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area.
I see. Hmm. Yeah, I was born in Russia, but my
Oh,
family
cool.
came to the States when I was 10 years old, and I lived near, I lived in Pennsylvania in a place called Havertown,
Yeah.
which is 11 until 16.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
Did you like it?
I did. Yeah, I loved it back then. I mean, honestly, compared to LA, there really isn't much to do there. But like during that age, growing up, I never really liked to go out that much anyway. I was kind of a homebody, and whenever I did go out, I would just like walk around the neighborhood, go shopping in like the nearest shopping centers and stuff. I wasn't really like all that concerned about um the nightlife. Well, how concerned can you be about nightlife and clubs and stuff when you're like in the middle?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but obviously, like LA is, it has a much more vibrant music scene.
Absolutely. And I mean, I love LA, like I said, and the whole, general area.
Mhm.
And it's definitely a lot different than Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh though, it's got its own very, very cool music scene and just, the culture there is awesome as well. So,
Yeah, well, hopefully I'll be able to travel soon so I can, go back and explore it because
yeah.
I've been back. The last time I was in Havertown was 2015, so it was a decade.
Wow.
Yeah, it hasn't. It's been a while
Yeah.
since I've been there. Okay, so your band has completed several successful national US tours in 2024. Was that your first year touring, or have you toured before?
So the last couple years, we have played like here and there, throughout the country. But the last 2 years, we really hit it hard, and it was a pretty consistent, nonstop run of dates throughout most of the year. And
Mhm.
this year, it's kind of looking like it's going to be the same way.
I see. So yeah, you got a pretty big touring schedule coming up, huh?
Yeah, so we don't have anything announced just yet, but we are putting the finishing touches on everything and working hard to complete that so we can get that out as soon as possible. But it's usually around like springtime we kind of start getting busy again, and of course summer is very busy and into the fall as well.
Hmm. I see. Yeah, well, hopefully you'll be able to come out to LA during that tour, and
Yeah, absolutely. And we always love coming back, so that's always on our radar.
so during the 2024 tour, what states and cities did you guys play at?
Well, we actually pretty much played coast to coast. I mean, we were pretty much straight across. One of the big runs of dates that we did, it was kind of unique. It was a desert tour, so we went through like Arizona. We started that one in Las Vegas, and we went through. There was a lot of driving through the desert for that one, and we hit a lot of the places that we typically wouldn't hit on a normal tour. We would most likely focus on a lot of like city type shows just to get the most people out. But uh, these were a little bit different type shows. They were, a lot of them were in the middle of nowhere in the desert, and it was,
Oh, wow.
it was just a really unique, different angle to what we were doing. It was a cool tour.
I see. Yeah, when you say that you did one show in the middle of nowhere in the desert, was it like in a bar that just like sits in this very like empty area? Or
Um, well, like so some of the places we do theaters, we do some festivals, we do a lot of like larger, like when we come to LA, just off the top of my head, like one of the places we play is like Hard Rock Cafe, like in Hollywood. So it's like those type of places we play a lot. But like a lot of these places were like taverns and like saloons and a lot of different places like that. That they were just super, super cool. And it was all the places were really awesome. All the people we met were really awesome. And each show though was, I mean, it was just a long drive through the desert, and then here it is, a cool place in the middle of the desert, and it was just a really cool tour.
Hmm. Yeah, it definitely sounds fun. Any particularly memorable stories from the tour? Any special memories?
So I do a thing I post online. It's called Hat on a Chair. So different chairs that I see throughout the country, and I have a lot of hats, as you can kind of see here.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a man of many hats. But if I see a cool chair, whatever hat I'm wearing, I'll put the hat on the chair and take a picture of it and post it. So we were in Parker, Arizona, and next to the venue we were at, there was this giant mountain,
definitely.
and we saw a chair at the top of it, just a wooden chair. We could see it like way up there,
Holy sh-
and yeah, and the drummer Chris Bellin and I decided to climb up there and put my hat on the chair. It was a lot higher than we thought it was, and it was extremely, extremely hot out. So yeah, we made it up there, but I didn't. I thought I was gonna pass out, so it was pretty rough, and it was hard to come down too. We didn't even think about that part.
How long did it take you guys to climb the mountain?
Well, it took us a while. We had just got done eating some Mexican food, so it was extra tough. And in the heat, it was just so hot.
Yeah, I
But
bet. Well, at least you got to burn off some of those calories.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but well, that's really cool. That's a really cool story. So you guys have quite an extensive resume. You've shared the stage with Lisa Marie Presley, Cheech Chong, Jefferson Starship, and many other notable artists. You've been featured in major events such as the Woodstock 50th anniversary, and you have performed at the Rose Bowl Stadium in Pasadena. What shows were the most memorable to you and why?
All those shows, every one of them were so special to us. They were all really cool. Just off the top of my head, Lisa Marie Presley, that show was incredible. We weren't sure what she would be like, and she ended up being such an amazing person, very down to earth, very kind person. After the show, we actually the venue cleared out and we pulled up some tables together and all hung out for hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just right in the middle of the venue, like where everyone would stand.
Mhm.
pulled up a bunch of tables, and both bands all just hung out and talked and told all kinds of stories, and it was a really really cool experience. And it's sad she's gone now, but um,
Absolutely.
that was a really cool experience. The Woodstock experience was very cool, like being on the grounds where everything happened. Um, that was pretty wild. But yeah, just, man, through the years, each one of those acts were just incredible in their own, they were great.
I bet. Where did the Woodstock anniversary take place exactly? I think it's on the East Coast, somewhere in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, New York area.
Yeah, so that was actually in Bethel, New York.
Oh,
And so the actual Woodstock isn't too far away from there, but where they actually had Woodstock was in Bethel.
I see.
So yeah, I think maybe they were originally like the original, 55 years ago now. I think they were originally maybe like looking to do it in Woodstock, New York, but they ended up doing it in Bethel. And where they had the anniversary was right on the grounds of the farmer Max Yasgur. Um, it was all his farmer's fields, and so where the stage was, it was like way down in the woods, and his house was on the property. There's a huge barn. It says Yasgur's on it, and there was the co-founder Michael Lang. He actually just passed away not all that long ago, also,
Mhm.
but he was there. I got to meet him, and the original sound guy was there as well. Um, then like some people that of course, were at the original. There were some artists that performed that were at the original as
No, that's
well.
awesome. Like who?
Yeah, it was truly an honor to be a part of, for sure.
I bet, absolutely. I mean, it's such a legendary festival. It's like you hear so many things about it, and you read about all of the bands that performed there back in the like the 60s and um like so on, like throughout the 20th century and stuff.
Yeah. And it's incredible too, like that area. It's just a small little town. It's just like way out in the country, and the locals there, like they really keep the spirit alive too. It's a really cool thing.
I bet. Yeah, I should also travel out there sometime. Hmm. Anyway, okay, so next question. So the Derek Woods Band has more tours coming up in 2025, right? You actually
Yes.
talked about that a little bit, but so you can just go ahead and answer this question for me again, honestly. So which cities, states, and countries are you going to perform at?
Well, right now, we are trying to hit a couple new areas, for sure this year. We hope to drop the lineup real soon about where all the places we're actually going to be.
Uh-huh.
I know for sure we are going to be hitting a couple new areas, but once again, we're trying to go coast to coast. We might not, we're not going to hit every single state, probably this year. But yeah, we're definitely trying to expand out. We're always expanding to try to hit new areas that we haven't been before, and then come back to some of the places that we always love. And like I said, LA is a place that we always look forward to coming back to. We love the beach towns as well. We love doing like Ocean City and places like that. Along the coast are always a blast. Um, and I know we'll be going down south as well. We'll be doing some stuff that way. So it should be pretty exciting. We have some pretty big news coming soon with everything, the whole list of everything coming out.
Well, I will definitely be on the lookout for the tour for the dates lineup, and hopefully you'll be playing in LA.
Yeah, and I hope to see you there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully you'll play at the Whiskey A Go Go. It's
That would be great. Yeah.
it's have you ever played there before?
So I have never played there before. I used to work for a record label, and a lot of the bands, they all played there, and I've been there many times, and it's the whiskey's a very awesome place.
Yeah,
I've never personally played there before, and that's definitely a place I would love to play.
I see. Yeah, well, hopefully it will be in your 2025 lineup. Yeah, it's a really, really great club. Yeah, honestly,
Yes.
every single time it just like makes you feel like you're part of this huge history. I am actually going to be seeing Pamela DeBard there this Sunday.
Oh.
Yeah, she's not going to be like obviously she's not a musician anymore, so she's not. It's not going to be a concert. It's going to be more like a Q&A. Uh,
Oh, wow. That's cool.
yeah, but I read her biography 2 years ago, and I'm definitely really excited to be able to see her in the flesh and
Yeah.
everything she has to say. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's super cool. And then, that's the cool thing about LA as well. Like, there's always stuff like that going on, Q&As and, different appearances. It's so cool.
Absolutely. Okay, and my last question for you is, what's next in your agenda for 2025 besides the tour? Do you have any new music coming out?
Yeah, so we're always working on new stuff. And we're working right now, we're working on a new show for the year and putting everything together and spicing it up a little bit. I have personally been doing a little bit of studio work as well. I've been uh, being a special guest on a couple other artists' material, and I've been dabbling a little bit into producing as well for some other artists. So that's a new development this year, something that I'm just, getting in the studio more and doing. But of course, I would love to get in the studio with the band as well, and that's pretty due to be happening probably pretty soon here.
Well, yeah, it definitely sounds exciting. And yeah, like I said, the thing that I'm looking forward to the most is hopefully seeing you guys play in LA this year.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that also because that's always a blast.
Okay, yeah, well, Derek, those are all the questions that I had for you. It's been so nice talking to you. Thank you so much for being on my show again.
Thank you so much for having me. Really nice meeting you and talking to you.
Nice meeting you as well. And like I said, hopefully I'll be able to see you guys play live.
I would love that.
Okay, thank you, Derek. Have a good
See
night.
ya.
Bye.
Thank you.